If you have this symbol, something big is coming. They say your destiny is not written in the stars, but in the lines of your hands. Look closely. Do you see a half moon beneath your nail? And M on your palm? If yes, this is not a coincidence. It's a warning and a calling. What follows may change the way you see yourself forever. Not everything the eye sees is fully understood. The half-moon shape on your fingernails, called the lunula, is one such silent symbol. It sits there, often unnoticed on your thumbs or fingertips, like a pale crescent emerging from beneath the nail. To many, it's simply part of the body. But to those who observe with awareness, it carries deeper meaning. The lunal is not just a physical mark, it reflects what lies within. In ancient medicine systems and spiritual teachings alike, the lunal is considered a subtle indicator of your life force, your energy reservoir, and the alignment of your inner and outer being. When the half moon is visible, prominent, and bright, it symbolizes clarity, vitality, and a strong connection between mind, body, and spirit. It means that your inner energies are not stagnant. They are moving, alive, alert. This visibility of the lunar is often associated with people who are physically resilient, mentally sharp, and spiritually attuned. Their thoughts tend to move quickly and their bodies recover faster. They might feel naturally drawn to spiritual teachings, meditation, or even healing practices, not as hobbies, but as extensions of who they are. When their inner energy is in balance, they walk through the world with a quiet force. They don't need to announce themselves. Their presence speaks before they do. However, power that is not understood becomes dangerous. The lunar's brightness may reflect high energy, but energy is neutral. It becomes good or bad based on how it is used or misused. A person with intense inner power who lacks control can become restless, reactive, even destructive, just like electricity, which can illuminate a city or burn it down. The energy reflected by the lunar must be respected. When you are unaware of this energy, it can turn against you. You may feel overwhelmed without cause, hypersensitive to other people's emotions, or overly drawn to stimulation, whether through ambition, perfectionism, or constant external seeking. Without grounding, this kind of energy creates imbalance. You may find yourself fluctuating between motivation and burnout, calm and chaos. The lunar doesn't cause this, it reveals it. It is a mirror, not a master. This is why the appearance of the lunar is sometimes misunderstood as dangerous. The real danger is not in the mark itself, but in the way we manage what it represents. High energy without discipline is like wind without direction. It moves fast, but achieves little. In this state, people may attract others rapidly, start things passionately, and burn with ambition. But without inner stability, they also burn out quickly. The lesson here is not to fear the lunar, but to honor the energy it reflects. If you have strong and clear half moons on your nails, it is not a badge of superiority. It is a signal, one that tells you maintain your balance, channel your energy, don't let it control you. Spend time each day in silence, grounding practices, or reflection. Learn when to rest, when to act, when to speak, and when to remain still. The lunar may also disappear or fade during times of illness, mental stress, or emotional disconnection. It doesn't vanish overnight, but its decline is gradual, subtle. When your internal systems are depleted, when your body is overwhelmed or your spirit is burdened, the lunar dims. It is not punishment, it is communication. The body never lies. If we listen, we heal. If we ignore, we suffer. For those who are sensitive to energy, the lunar can even respond to their spiritual path. As your awareness deepens and your connection to self strengthens, the lunar may become more visible, not because of vanity, but because your energy is no longer leaking outward. You are retaining it, protecting it, refining it. This is what spiritual alignment looks like, not floating above life, but being deeply rooted in it, aware and awake. We live in a world that often ignores subtlety. It praises noise, speed, and constant doing. But the Luna is a quiet teacher. It doesn't shout. It simply appears, like a silent crescent moon, reminding you that your energy matters, that your life is not only in your plans, your words, or your goals, but in the breath you take, the thoughts you nurture, and the care you give to your inner world. So, what should you do if you notice a half moon on your nail? You don't worship it, you don't fear it. You respect what it means. You slow down, you check in, you realign, and you begin again. Because the real message is not in the mark itself, but in how you choose to live with it. The lula is a seed. The flower that grows from it is your discipline, your peace, your power. This is not about superstition. It's about awareness. You are energy. You are spirit. You are presence wrapped in skin and bone. And every sign your body gives you, no matter how small, is worthy of your attention. So when you see that half moon on your nail, don't just glance and forget. Pause. Reflect. Ask yourself, am I in alignment? Am I in balance? Am I using my energy wisely? Because in the end, no mark on your body will ever shape your destiny more than your own conscious decisions. There are patterns in nature that repeat themselves. Spirals in galaxies, ripples in water, branches in trees. And in the same way, there are patterns etched into the palms of your hands. Some fade with time, others deepen with experience. But a rare few, like the letter M, that can form where the head, heart, and lifelines intersect, carry deeper meaning. This M is not always immediately visible. It requires stillness, a closer look, a quiet kind of curiosity. And when you finally see it, whether it's on your right hand, your left, or both, it often stirs something within you, a recognition, a subtle feeling that says, I've always known I was different. The appearance of the M on your palm has long been tied to heightened intuition. People with this marking tend to sense things before they are said. They walk into a room and feel the unspoken tension. They notice details others miss, the shift in tone, the break in someone's rhythm, the energy underneath the words. It is not something they choose. It is something they carry, like an antenna, constantly picking up frequencies from the unseen. This sensitivity gives them an edge. It makes them natural observers, deep listeners, and often unshakable truth seekers. They are not easily fooled. They can tell when someone's smile hides a storm. They can feel when something is off, even if everyone else is fooled by the surface. They live with a kind of inner radar, always scanning the world for honesty, meaning, and deeper connections. Because of this, they are often drawn to leadership, not in the conventional sense of commanding others, but in the quiet sense of guiding. They are the ones others go to when life becomes unclear, when chaos rises, when a decision must be made that goes beyond logic. These individuals don't lead with force, they lead with insight. Their strength lies not in volume, but in vision. But this gift is not free. Every light casts a shadow, and the same sensitivity that allows them to understand others deeply also makes them deeply vulnerable. When you feel so much, you also carry so much. You absorb emotions like a sponge, joy and pain, love and loss, excitement and fear. And if you don't know how to release what isn't yours, it begins to weigh you down. Emotional exhaustion becomes a quiet enemy. It doesn't come loudly. It creeps in. We're here to master it gently, quietly, over time. Spiritual signs are not dangerous by nature, but they become dangerous when we rush past their meaning, when we try to use them without preparation, or when we expect power without responsibility. Let your signs humble you. Let them awaken you. Let them teach you. Because when understood and respected, these signs don't drain your energy. They direct it. They don't control your life. They help you align it. And that is where true peace begins. The lines on your palm may tell a story, but they do not write your future. The symbols your body carries, the markings that spark curiosity or spiritual awe, they are not the authors of your destiny. They are the whispers, not the final word. What shapes your life is not the sign itself, but the consciousness behind your every breath, your every choice, your every act. True meaning does not come from symbols. It comes from how you live. Presence is not just being physically still. It is mental clarity, emotional availability, a deep willingness to be with what is without running from it, labeling it, or trying to force it into something else. Presence is the art of returning to yourself in every moment. When you are present, you stop reacting and begin responding. You listen instead of assuming. You feel instead of numb. You move with clarity instead of compulsion. In this state, your decisions shift. You speak differently. You connect deeply. You notice the world in a way most people miss. No sign on your body can give you this. It is earned moment by moment, choice by choice. A person with strong markings may have potential for greatness, but if their actions are random, reactive, or fueled by ego, that potential remains dormant. Intention turns energy into direction. It refines your path. It keeps you close to your values, your purpose, your truth. It helps you say no to what's not aligned, even when it's tempting. It helps you endure the slow moments, the unseen hours, the long nights of discipline. And then comes mastery, not mastery of others, not domination, but mastery of self. This is the ultimate spiritual work. Can you master your emotions instead of being mastered by them? Can you hold space for discomfort without rushing to escape it? Can you build routines that support your spirit even when motivation fades? Mastery is not perfection. It is consistency. It is humility. It is the willingness to fall, to fail, to learn, and to rise again. The person who lives with presence, intention, and mastery is the one who changes their life, not the one with the most visible signs. Because no line on your palm can teach you patience. No moon on your nail can give you focus. No mystical pattern can make you show up every day when it's hard, when it's boring, when no one claps. That work is yours. That power is yours. Spiritual signs may point the way, but only you can walk the path. And that path is built not by what you see, but by what you do. Every time you wake up early to center yourself, every time you pause before reacting, every time you choose growth over comfort, you are shaping your future quietly, invisibly, powerfully. That is the difference between those who carry energy and those who embody it. One waits for life to happen, the other shapes life with their presence, with their daily devotion to becoming someone who lives in alignment, not expectation, in clarity, not confusion, in integrity, not performance. Even the most powerful markings fade without action, but even the most ordinary hand becomes sacred in the presence of conscious living. So look at your pen if you must. Notice what you carry. Let it remind you of your strength. But do not stop there. Turn inward. Ask yourself, am I awake in my own life? Am I building what matters? Am I living in a way that reflects who I truly am, not who I pretend to be? This is the real work, the invisible labor of becoming. And in that work, you will find what no sign can give you: peace, confidence, trust, a quiet fire that doesn't need validation, a rhythm of life that moves from your soul, not from the outside world. Because in the end, what determines your path is not the shape of your hand, but the shape of your habits, not the power of your markings, but the power of your mindset, not what is written in the lines, but what is written in your life. Live in such a way that you don't need to be told you are special. Live so deeply, so mindfully, that your actions speak for themselves, that your presence becomes the sign, that your life becomes the message, not because of what you were given, but because of what you chose to become. You are not your markings. You are not your signs. You are the one who decides what they mean. What matters is not what is drawn into your skin, but what is shaped by your choices. Because in the end, the universe does not respond to symbols alone. It responds to energy, to action, to presence. So if you carry the signs, carry them with humility. If you feel the call, answer it with discipline. Let the signs remind you of what is possible. But let your life prove it. Not through noise, but through quiet mastery. Not through fate, but through unwavering intent. And day by day, step by step, your destiny will not be predicted. It will be earned.